Rizzo. Why is that?
Time to bring in our regular Wednesday KUSI contributor, sports contributor, Chris Ello. You can follow him on Twitter at Chris Ello SD. We started with the Padres. We're tracking. Well, let's be, just first of all, your thoughts about taking 4-6 from the World Series champs.
Well, it's something to build on. Something to build on, and it tells me that the Cubs are not winning again this year. They don't have the feel is not there for the Cubs this year. And you know what? You're talking about your road trips to Wrigley and stuff. I made one venture to Wrigley in my life, and it was in May. And I walked in Wrigley Field, and what was the first thing I noticed?
I don't know what.
The ivy doesn't grow until June or July.
Yeah, because of the summer. The
so if you go to a game in April and May, you get no ivy.
Yeah.
And Cordero's lucky there was ivy today when he ran into the fence.
You wanted to bring up Rizzo. Let's talk. It's all Padres Nation is talking about. Yeah. Did the skipper do the right thing in avoiding a retaliation?
You know what? In a roundabout way, I think he did, because the Padres right now are kind of the weak sisters, the weaklings on the block. And when the big bully on the block kicks sand in your face, what do? You go to the gym and you get stronger. Yep. So you bulk up. Maybe the Padres will bulk up in a couple of years. The roles will be reversed. Then you retaliate. That's the time to do it. But, you know, I didn't like Joe Maddon's response. That's what bothered me more than Rizzo's slide.
He should have come out and said,
and him saying, I love the play. Well, you know what? If you loved it that much, then you should have loved it when the Padres hit Rizzo in the coconut the next day, which they didn't do.
Well, Chris, I mean, is this what you'd prefer? We go to Sochi in Russia. Mexico and New Zealand are on the pitch in the Confederation Cup. And is this what you would want, this sort of retaliation? You know, most soccer fights...
Did he even touch the guy, or did number 5 just fall down? Come on.
No, I say as far as soccer fights go, this was actually pretty good.
Yeah, for soccer, that's not bad. Yeah. I saw a couple of arms flailing at least.
We should mention El Tri beats the Kiwis 2-1 to keep their Confederation Cups thoughts alive, which brings us to what
and New Zealand was eliminated, by the way, which is just the Kiwis are out.
All right, the Kiwis are out. Now, the big story. Golf's power couple, Bones and Lefty, after 25 years, have broken heart. What's that about?
Well, I don't know. I mean, and they're not saying, and better for them not to say, but there's something to it. I mean, I don't think that they just decided 25 years was enough and it's time to go their separate ways.
Well, listen to this soundbite from the Golf Channel and I'll get your reaction to it.
Okay.
As for Phil and Bones, well, there was friction at the Players. Remember, over club selection at 17, Bones wanted him to hit the 9-iron. Phil wanted a pitching wedge. Ball went back in the pond, and a cold shoulder resulted in that. But you can't see a relationship like that breaking up over something like that after 25 years.
It can't just
so why did you bring that story up then?
I mean,
if that had nothing to do with the breakup, why did you just tell us that
Is this
story?
more Lefty losing confidence in his caddy, or maybe not going to play as much, or is Bones just want a younger player?
I like that. I like the angle that that was mentioned, that Lefty wants Bones to get a little more work. And Lefty's going to be cutting back on his schedule. I mean, Mickelson's the kind of guy that would think of somebody else and do something like that.
It's just
so I'm
weird.
Go with that.
The timing of it is just a little
bit.
All right. Well, speaking of Mickelson, he's going to shatter the glass ceiling. He's going to be in the LPGA skills competition. Lydia Ko, Stacey Lewis, Brooke Henderson, they're going to be, you know, short game skills.
Skills deal.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's a sponsorship thing, though, isn't it? I mean,
his big sponsor.
His sponsor, they're doing the tournaments, so that's part of it. But again, this is another feather in Mickelson's cap. I mean, for him to take part in an LPGA event is shedding a good light on the LPGA. I mean, I think Phil's just doing what's best for golf, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm sure there's healthy compensation as well, right? Or do you think it's just part of the deal?
I think there's some, but I mean, you know, anybody can get hit. I mean, I could beat Phil Mickelson in a chipping contest if it was just maybe one shot. Just one, not...
I'm going to let that go unchallenged. NBA draft is Thursday. The Lakers shipped D'Angelo Russell and his Instagram or Snapchat or whatever it was, Swaggy P. They're sending him to Brooklyn. Is Ball the choice on Thursday?
It sure looks that way, because that's why else would they trade a point guard in order to open up a spot. But I'm not a fan of it, and I hope Magic Johnson's smart enough to see that this kid's dad is going to prohibit this kid from becoming the next Magic Johnson, which everybody thinks this kid's going to become. Magic Johnson was not only special on the court, he was special off the court as well. One of the nicest athletes I've ever covered. I don't think this kid has a chance to be one of the nicest athletes of all time because of his dad. I don't think there's any chance.
Well, speaking of nice kids, TJ Leaf is all going to be in New York. Is expected to go in the top 20 picks.
Yeah.
Did he leave UCLA 1 year too soon?
No, not if he's in the top 20 picks. Absolutely not. I mean, you know, and he would have been one of the top 20 picks probably last year. I think it's a little silly that the NBA even makes these guys play 1 year of college.
Rapid fire. The Raiders are about to make Derek Carr the highest paid annual. My question is why? Why are you going to pay that guy $25 million?
Because he was voted by players as the 11th best player in the NFL. The current highest paid player in the NFL is Andrew Luck. Do you know what he was voted by the players this year?
I assume below
51st. So
that's what the market will pay.
That's it. Look, the 5 top paid quarterbacks in all of football have a combined 1 Super Bowl between them. That's Drew Brees.
All right, quickly, 9-year-old in I assume the Las Vegas area, just got a scholarship offer from the University of Nevada. What are we doing to our children?
Yeah, and it's us. It's the adults. I can't blame the kids. If somebody offered me a scholarship when I was 9, I would sign right away. I would take it because who knows?
You would not have been academically eligible.
Yeah, I might not have been able to write my name, but I would have taken it. But yeah, you know what? I'm going to say the NCAA is going to have to come in and put another rule in to stop these people from doing this.
And lastly, we just have time for this. You got give me 10 seconds or less. Mount Everest, back in 2015, Nepal had a big earthquake. Mount Everest might not be the tallest summit in the world.
Right.
Your thoughts about that?
My thoughts are that if I'm the 2nd tallest summit in the world right now, I am keeping my fingers crossed that when they remeasure Mount Everest, it's shorter and I jump into the lead.
All right, Chris Ello, everybody. Oh, by the way, Thursday, John Carney will be in studio sitting in that very chair. We'll be talking about his camp for kickers and all sorts of other things with a guy who spent 20 years in the NFL.
Great guy.
His name is Ello. My name is Rudy. We say together, back to you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.